What's going on YouTube? Just wanted to give kind of a general channel update. As you can see from my keyboard and the monitor on my workbench, work has kind of taken a place at the desk with the whole fun COVID-19 situation. So in the meantime, though, this last weekend was able to get some time at the bench. Just wanted to catch you guys up on where all of the running projects are. As you guys seen in my last one, I got the clear coat down. There was a lot of bumps and nasties on the roof and on the hood. Used some Flory sanders, specifically the blue and white polishing stick to uh, get a lot of the high points off, get it smoothed down, and then repolished up to pretty much a mirror finish. There is some just general light scratches that are just still in the paintwork. Um, I mean, if you actually looked at any of the old monster trucks from the 80s, they were in show quality, but they were definitely, used and abused, especially in the late 80s, which is what I'm going to be kind of replicating here, is a truck that's for show, but, you know, it's not the most perfect truck in the world. And to be honest, the sides really show it off nicely, though, and it has the good gloss finish all the way down it. So, happy with that. So there is the top. Went ahead and also got some work done on the tail section here in the bed. So I got the chrome handrails for the sides. Was debating whether to put them on or not until I put the aluminum, that dark aluminum roll bar in there. That really makes it pop with those chromed parts there. So just went ahead and put those on. Really liked that. The tail lights, the way that I did these was used Tester's stoplight red on both sides of the lens, and then covered the back with a coat of, I believe it was chrome silver from Tester's Model Master as well. Obviously masked off the tiny little tail light indentation there. Was originally going to paint them white. However, once I got them in, I did not like the way the white looked. And in fact, there's a little hazing on this one because I had painted it white and then realized I didn't like it. So used a toothpick, scraped it off, but obviously that lightly marked the tail light. When it's set in a normal lighted situation, kind of like this, though, you can't even tell it. So, but really happy with the way these taillights came out. For the black weatherproofing trim around the edge, just used a good old Sharpie. Specifically, I like to use the industrial Sharpies, as they have a little bit more of a bite because they're made to go on to metals and more for industrial use. So, like I said, they just kind of bite in a little deeper. As you can see, there is still a little bit of imperfections within the gloss coat, but it really fits and works. Looks the part. The interior of the truck bed looks great as well. So, happy with how all that turned out. Started work on the engine here. Try to zoom in a little bit here and get a good detail shot of this. So for the engine, had to use the Molotov chrome pens to re-chrome the blower and parts of the supercharger. I just went ahead and just redid them. The only one that's original chrome is actually the back plane there of the supercharger. Beyond that, it's all Molotov pen. Again, use a stoplight red. Just used a brush, dropped that in, just kind of flooding the butterfly valves there. That would be on the front of the blower, and then used really thin copper line. Actually, what it is Cat 5e or Cat 5 patch panel wire. This is solid copper. This is not the multi-strand copper. Just used a piece of that, cut little individual slivers of the copper line, and dropped them in to create the hinge for the butterfly. There is super detail parts that you could put for the actual full butterfly um, uh, mechanism that goes on the outside of the blower. To be honest, I'm happy with this. I'm planning on possibly using those type of detail parts when I do a Meisterbrow pulling car um, eventually, which will probably be either late this year or next year sometime. Um, Tamiya Corsair build, really progressed with it. Used a little bit of a different color on the underside. Normally, everybody would just use a flat white. I used it's a Vallejo color, and I apologize. I don't have it handy. I believe it is US Gold Gray is what I think it was. It's actually what the decal options specified for this center section. Notice that the panel line for the wing join for where the outer section joined to the inner section, I found that had really kind of gotten lost in the filling, so went ahead, scribed it, of course, slipping with the scriber a little bit, had to go back through and sand it. So I just kind of sanded it down to back to this point. So I just got to get that resprayed in at some point. Used white tack just to cover up these sections. Originally, I was going to use masking tape, but that really didn't work too well. Beyond that, I do have all of the lower flaps painted already. I have the cowl painted with that gold gray here on the bottom, obviously stuffed to prevent paint bleed over for that. And then, as you can see, the massive pile of flags that I've got made up. So, U.S. Hot Rod Association, Skull Bandit Racing, good old 48 star American flag. And I did a special on my channel. Actually, I think my favorite one out of all of them that I put together and built up is actually this Mudweiser flag. Just the way the creases are with this one, it just looks perfect. And if you put it kind of in a position within the bed of a truck, I mean, it just looks the part. So really happy with how that came along. Just some other general ones, old state of Georgia flags, going into kind of the racing side, Chevy Heartbeat of America, 1980s Mountain Dew flag. This one was one that made up for this build specifically for the monster truck is the Renegades TNT Monster Truck Challenge. That would have been that was the main series that was traveling the country in the late 80s. That would have had the likes of Bigfoot, Gravedigger, USA 1. In fact, it was in the 88 season, the first championship season, that the USA 1 truck won that series. So, just a really big fan of that era. And then, obviously, just, with the other interests that I have, just got some other flags printed out and ready to get put onto a truck at some point. Yee Granger Smith. So Demolition Ranch, Matt Characters stuff from the Off the Ranch, and then obviously like Budweiser. So like I said, got a video on how to make these. Primarily just printed out a paper and then used Elmer's glue. Got it really covered in glue. I found that was the best way to do it, to get it to stick and stay. And then a couple of hours later, you can fold these, bend these around, and they kind of spring back a little bit, but you can get them to lock into a great position to look like they're just either hanging, at a slight angle, like what this one would be, or, blowing in the wind, just, still moment captured in time. Kind of like what this one would be if it was more upright. It's just more of a moment captured in time. So, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Sorry I've not had the chance to get back to the bench a whole lot lately. Like I said, with work kind of taking over the bench, only get about the weekends to really dive in and get the chance to really make progress on things, but looking forward to getting these builds wrapped up. I did also complete a little 1 to 200 scale C47. That was just a build I was doing for myself, no vlog on it. It was a old 1994 release from Hasegawa, so I'll get a video up of that reveal shortly. But either way, take care, have a good one, and I'll catch you later.